Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We have a weekend update for you guys. So every single week, you know, we're obviously live Monday to Friday, but on the weekends, we're not here for you guys. We definitely want to update you guys and make sure you guys are ready for the week. That's what this weekend update is all about. So we really hope you're excited because we have a lot to talk about. We were just talking about, man, this is insane. It's been a crazy weekend. So we're going to really just jump into it. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner here. As always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Going on. How was your weekend, bro? Let's get into that first.
The weekend was me checking my phone, checking prices, checking my Twitter timeline. I mean, it never stops, right? I mean, you try to take it, like I did take Saturday and kind of watched the UFC fights. I spent time with my my brother and some friends and stuff like that. But definitely wanted to check the Twitter timeline because a lot of stuff is starting to heat up. Runes is starting to kind of get the price actions there. Some new projects launching, a lot of timeline stuff, projects releasing timeline information, and then you got the Tap ecosystem ready to kind of do their thing, and then some BRC20 stuff as well. So I mean, it's just kind of like waiting for stuff to really start to pop, right? Yeah. Whether that's new platforms being able to be used or just information. So it's exciting times.
Yeah, man. For me, like Friday, some crazy stuff was happening on my block. There was like a big party getting set up, and I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here because I am an antisocial frog, man. I am I do not like parties. So my wife found something nice on Airbnb, and we drove an hour up towards the Pocono Mountains and got a nice Airbnb cabin up there. Beautiful place. You know, all day Saturday, just kind of chilled. Didn't look at my phone. Today I had a crazy withdrawal. I couldn't stop. I was tweeting. I was looking. We went to the zoo. I left my phone in my pocket for that and stuff. But I couldn't. When I got home before we did this update, dude, I couldn't stop. I was like a kid in candy, so looking at all the topics. Like we have so much to talk about. So
yeah, there's a lot.
Seriously. So before we get into anything, we got to check on the king. Nothing matters except the king. We're getting close right now to a weekly close, and I would love to see where we're gonna land at.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm starting off with the hourly chart right here, and we're showing some green candles forming right now. We're at 64,000. You know, it's been for the most part, I would say, like, you know, positive price action since the weekend started. We bottomed out here in the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and then that trajectory upward started to happen. And right now we're kind of just, you know, there was a bull flag right here, it looks like, and I don't know, we possibly could be going into another one on the hourly chart, but going on the daily, 3 daily green candles in a row, and it, like you said, it would be great to finish with another one here. You know.
And like the weekly would be the 1st of May, which is I think is pretty big, right? This is weekly right here.
Yep.
Yeah, so it would be nice. We're red right now for the week.
Yeah, we're red. Well, this is what the 29th of April, right? So I'm not sure why it hasn't given me the 30th. Oh well, it's the weekly. So we will finish our candle right now. Are we red? Let's see, 60. It finished 61 too. So if we finish at, you know, higher than that, then we should have a green candle forming.
Yeah.
We're actually green.
Yeah, man. All right, dude. What are you thinking for the week? What do you think for Bitcoin for the week? Are we gonna be up or down this time next week?
I think that we are gonna probably chop more towards the upside. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we were at 67,000 to end you know, next Sunday. I don't expect anything huge, but I don't expect anything like in terms of like dumpage. I could be wrong. You know, if you look at the US ETF announcements, it didn't like spring up until a couple weeks actually afterwards. So I know the Hong Kong ETF volume is much smaller, but for the first time, GBTC had a positive inflow this past couple of days, right? Or on Friday, I think. And so I think the whole like ETF inflows versus outflows could be starting to change. And if that's the case, then we could see a quicker trajectory up. But I think the first 3 days of ETF price action or inflows and outflows versus outflows, we need to pay attention to that, right? Because if
Yeah.
it's to like really heat up and on the US side and on the Hong Kong side, then it could be a really good finish to next week.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. That dip to 58, 57 got bought up really quickly.
Yep.
Really quickly. I mean, all the way to almost 60, 63, right? So that was pretty insane that run up there. So I'm very excited for that. That means, people were like, "Oh crap, I missed this dip," and they were jumping in 62, which keeps me very bullish. Definitely bullish on the short term and very bullish on the long term. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm the guy who's screaming you're not bullish enough because I think we're gonna hit 70K. I'm sorry, I think we're gonna hit 700K by the end of the cycle, by the end of potentially next year or early 2026. But I'm a crazy guy. But the things like this is the reason why, right? Wall Street giant Fidelity says pension funds are beginning to explore Bitcoin and crypto. Pension funds are loaded, absolutely loaded. What do you think about this? What do you think about like potential pension funds like getting into Bitcoin?
I mean, this is really, really big. I think that like when you have BlackRock and Fidelity in the game, it changes the custodians' risk tolerant or risk, I guess,
Management.
management and perception as well, right?
Yeah.
From the outside, because like as we know, like the Canadian teachers pension fund last cycle got affected by FTX, right? Now Fidelity and BlackRock won't even like, you know, talk about this unless they've already let the custodians know what the consequences would be if they mismanage funds, right? So I mean that's just my opinion, right? Like they
Yeah.
have the power to really crush these people's lives, if there was some funny business happening. So I'm very bullish on this Fidelity coming out and talking about it because it's going to make the public more comfortable in actually doing something like this, right? So yes, extremely bullish. I think the US ETFs really changed the industry in terms of risk assessment with
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
I completely agree with you. I think that this is going to be the reason why I think we have that huge leg up towards the end of this cycle. I don't obviously it's not the time yet, but when bigger corporations come in and announce that they are going to be buying Bitcoin or have bought Bitcoin, that's when you're going to see the pension funds be like, okay, let's get after it because their whole job is to make their people money, right? That so and if they don't want to miss out an opportunity like that, I'm hoping they don't get in towards the end of the cycle. I'm hoping they get in at the beginning, but this is something that usually pops at the end that takes us to that next leg, takes us from like 170 to 340 or something along those lines. But that definitely is one of the bigger reasons why I'm bullish. And I think Michael Sarah even said it over the weekend. I think it was on like Wednesday or Thursday, actually. He said that, it's going to be a parade of businesses and hedge funds that just are walking in the Bitcoin this cycle. And, this could be what he was talking about.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you got Coinbase that is being, heavily used by these, by these huge financial TradFi entities, right?
Yep.
But again, like I think like whenever a pension fund thinks about using Bitcoin, they're not really thinking about it for short term. They're thinking about it for obviously like longer term for their
Yeah.
pension holders and stuff, and or people that's going to receive the pensions and stuff because they now look at it as this like just like ongoing asset that can continually accrue value even if it pulls back. They're not really, it's like they're looking at it like gold in a sense, right? They're like, okay, look, we can add gold to our pension funds because we know the history of gold, how it works, how it operates in terms of the value. And I think they're starting to bring Bitcoin into that same circle.
I agree. I agree. Jump into our next topic here. Jack Dorsey announces his company Block will now be buying Bitcoin every month moving forward. So Jack Dorsey, obviously, he sold Twitter. He's a big proponent of Bitcoin for a long time. He's finally announcing this. I thought this would come a lot sooner, but now Block will be buying Bitcoin every month. What do you think about this?
I mean, he's taking a page out of the MicroStrategy's book, in my opinion. He saw how well it worked. I mean, he's not dumb. Jack Dorsey's obviously a smart guy, and he's probably like been doing something similar to this, but not officially announcing it. Or I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's illegal. I don't know without like putting it out there. But Block is that his new
That's Square.
company? That okay?
No, it's
Gotcha.
Square.
Okay,
It used to be called Square. Now it's called Block.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 10% of the revenue into Bitcoin is huge, right? So I think it's really smart. I think that more companies are going to start doing this.
Yeah.
But that's just like imagine like if like large companies start to do this across the board, that ends up being a lot of Bitcoin in possession of but supply is tight, right? And so
Yeah.
demand is up, and we knows what happens whenever that happens. So
I agree. And this puts Bitcoin in strong hands. Every Bitcoin that Jack Dorsey buys, he's not going to sell. Jack Dorsey's a long-term guy, right? Would love a company like Block or Square, whatever you want to call them, to buy as much as you can because they are not selling. They're going to Michael Saylor diamond hand this thing and say, why would I sell Bitcoin when I can just raise more cash, right? Because they're a publicly traded company. They can raise more cash to buy more Bitcoin instead of selling Bitcoin to, buy whatever their next thing is. And so I'm very comfortable with Jack Dorsey and this, but Jack Dorsey did piss the whole ordinal people off by coming out and said he owns 0 ordinals and runes. Come on, Jack. It's time to come out. It's time to get your first ordinal. Maybe not runes, but it's time to get your first ordinal. It's time to get your first on-chain potential something like a puppet or a monkey. How crazy would that be? But it hasn't happened. But could it happen? Will Jack Dorsey purchase an ordinal?
well, I don't think he would ever admit it. If it came to it in the end, he'd probably try to create his own meta protocol, like MicroStrategy did. At the end of the day, like I think doesn't he have like a stake in Ocean Mining, and so like he had some sort of relationship with them, and so I think he's just not going to come out and say that. But I do think that he will eventually get onboarded because he seems to like to do what Michael Saylor does. So eventually he'll probably end up getting his own type of inscription or asset class in there. It's inevitable at this point. When you got mining companies that are, selling epic sats for $3.3 million, and I mean, it's just, it's inevitable that these assets on Bitcoin are gonna live on and do some create some more onboarding, and I think he's eventually gonna be one of them.
Yeah, man. Well, let's continue in the ordinal space here. Magic Eden rewards are live for ordinals. Earn diamonds through buying and listing with buying, earning more. Retro drop is also live. How many diamonds did you get?
I gotta do the math. Because I have so many wallets, but I definitely didn't get as many as you. I don't know what they determined it on. If it's straight trading, then maybe I need to trade more volume, because I think I'll probably get like maybe 150,000 points around there. But I don't know. I think the bonus seemed to be like doubling every amount of points. Did you do bonuses or no?
No, I didn't do many. I'm doing bonuses now, like by minting and buying the things we just bought, the frogs or whatever. Antisocial frogs. I did get a bonus for that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, this was huge to me. I got over north of 300,000 diamonds. Because I bought and sold no monkeys and stuff like that. And I don't know why I got so many, but I do have 11 different wallets, and I was busy checking all 11, and I did the math and added them all up. It was north of 300,000. I have no idea what they're worth or anything like that, so I don't know. But I'm definitely going to be collecting them because I have to, because you can't do anything else with them right now, right? So
Yeah,
I don't know. I think this is really cool. if they do end up being their token, that would be absolutely amazing because I am very bullish on Magic Eden. Is my personal favorite place to buy anything, especially now that they have runes. And I'm not really a huge BRC20 buyer, so I don't really use anything. I mean, I did buy some Ghosty, I did buy some Track recently, and I did use Unisat for that. But besides that, I use Magic Eden for most of my stuff. How often do you use Magic Eden?
I mean, I use it frequently for all the ordinal stuff, and then the runes. I've been using it for runes. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing here is like, what are these diamonds rewards for, right? Is it for an airdrop? Is it for credits to be able to use back on their platform? Obviously, it's going to be something I think that's going to be pretty significant because they wouldn't hype it up just for it to not be really worth much, right? So I'm excited to see how they utilize it into their like either token, or I think token's gonna be tricky for them just because they're such a big entity. If they do a token, they gotta really do it right. But I would definitely be excited about that token. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah,
because
dude,
they are big.
They're a monster. But yeah, so I did say I did mint something today, so we'll kind of jump right into that. Wasn't sharing my screen. Sorry about that. But I minted some of these today. Antisocial frogs. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? They look really cool. And they kind of give me that puppets feel. I think you sent that to me right after I minted one, which was absolutely amazing. And that again shows us why I'm glad. After you sent me that message, I went to my other wallets and I started minting more. What do you think about these guys?
Yeah, it seems like, there's possibly a new kind of part of the frogs community that's forming, which I think is needed because the attitude and energy from these antisocial frogs are different, very, very reminiscent to the puppets energy when they first launched. A lot of kind of like F the cabal, F the man type of approach, edgy. You see this frog has like punk hair, with some weird horn growth growing out of its shoulders and nipples or something there. But anyways, I think it's cool. I think that like if this community can really start to form and get an engine behind it, it could do wonders for the frog community. Because the frog community, I do feel like is a little bit too tame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needs that a little bit of that edginess, and this could be something that brings that to the overall frog ecosystem.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think this is awesome. Some of them got the blue eyes, some of them got that OMB type feel with mixture with the frogs and mixture with the puppets. I love it. I hope they do well. A minute there's $100 each. There's originally 11,000. Supply got cut to 6,069. I don't know what's going to happen with these. I'm probably going to pick up a few more. Who knows? I'm going to hold them and just see what happens. Definitely going to interact with their community a little bit and hope and see what's going on before I make some big investments in them. But I'm bullish on them. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's definitely kind of opposite, like I said, of the how the frogs community is. So we'll see how it plays into it.
yeah, and guys, we didn't take a dime from these guys, so I don't want to hear that crap in the comments. We're not Ivan on Tech here. Like we will let you know who we're partnered with if we have partnerships, and these guys are not one. So, anyway, jumping back to topics here. These guys at Ghosty Cash, man, they've been integrating with absolutely every chain and everyone, right? Jupiter, Solana, Merlin, Layer 2 Bitcoin, Core. I don't even know what Core is, but it's it's something in the Bitcoin. But if you go to their page and you just look down, they're integrating everything, dude. And on top of that, Benny the Dev says Ghosty is an infrastructure play. So, dude, I don't know. I picked up some Ghosty last week around 21 cents. I said it on the show. I think I said it on our members only live last week. I'm bullish on these guys. Every time I turn my head, it's something about Ghosty. And I wasn't bullish. You were bullish on these guys for a long time. You held this for a really long time. And I just wasn't there. And then now I'm kind of seeing with Coinless that I opened my eyes, man. Coinless, they have some of the biggest launches, and when they're gonna go launch in the tap, that got me, man, and that really got me thinking, like, okay, if I'm wrong about this, I'm gonna really hate myself. So I really started digging in, and I just can't keep my eyes off Ghosty, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting because Ghosty is like a product that has been running in the space for months, right? Months and months. I want to say at least like 7 months. Maybe I got the timeline wrong with that, but it's definitely been going on for a while. And they've done like 20 million, I believe, right around there in terms of total volume. And it's a solution for a pain point, being able to kind of bridge into Bitcoin or, bridge out of Bitcoin and stuff like that. So um people don't give them, the credit I think that they deserve, because they are BRC20, and then they announced they were a part of the tap kind of ecosystem. And I think like a lot of people were just kind of like, okay, well, that the tap ecosystem's not really growing, there's not much happening. But all the while, man, they were still earning fees, they were still helping people like move assets into Bitcoin, out of Bitcoin, from different chains, and I think that, like, even though it's a centralized approach, it's like they've been doing it for so long and have had so many happy customers and or like clients and or like users, and reviews, that like, man, you got to give them credit, right? That's kind of how I feel about them. And like, imagine once I actually feel like they did it the best, in my opinion, right? Look, so they used the in Unisat and all these exchanges and platforms, obviously they did too, but like it was kind of like this like unspoken thing that it's centralized because they have an indexer, but at least they had like multiple indexers and stuff like that. Or people are trying to bring other indexers into it. But what Ghosty was, they were like, look, we're going to try to solve a problem, even if it is centralized. We're going to offer it. And if they want to do it, then great. If they don't, then great. It's up to them. But they offered it, and then people started using it. And what can happen once the tech gets better? Ghosty can just upgrade and then make it permissionless whenever it's ready. And then bam, they already have a user base. They already have the branding. The bull market's here. Their token will fly, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but you know what I'm saying? Like so they've set themselves up as like this business model that's like, we're going to do our best, and then once technology gets better, we can do better. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I completely
So
agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, like the more and more I hear about Ghosty, man, more bullish. But what do you think of a Ghosty infrastructure? Like what do you think? Obviously we haven't talked about this. I don't know what that means.
yeah, I think that they're used to handling people's assets in terms of being centralized. And so if there is a centralized aspect of the tap ecosystem, then who better to do it than someone that's been really successful, right, the past 6 7 months. Now I don't know how much like tap promises and all this technology that they're talking about is going to be able to make things non-custodial and trustless and permissionless. But if there is ability to do that, then that's great for Ghosty. But I think the most, like, their devs seem to be able to handle stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like people are talking about like 15 minutes from different chains to Bitcoin, and so that's way. I remember when they first started, people were saying it took like hours, and sometimes it took so long. But that's what happens when time goes on, and some like a team is dedicated in making the user experience better and better. You know what I mean? Now, of course, like if I had to choose 10 out of 10, I'm going to choose permissionless, trustless, non-custodial. But with the limitations of Bitcoin right now, I just don't know if that's possible. And I'm excited to learn to see if promises and stuff like that make it possible, but we just don't know until we are able to use it.
Would you consider a Dex a infrastructure play?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think
100%.
Ghosty is building a Dex?
Well,
What's that?
if a DEX is decentralized, though trustless, permissionless. So if the technology permits, then yeah, I see no reason not to, right?
Yeah.
For them to build that. But I just think like from a management perspective, they've done very well for the product that they have. Yeah, of course, like I would love it to be that decentralized type of product, but and so I think maybe we're gonna have to hear Benny talk on a spaces to see what he means by that. Um, but I'm not shocked because Ghosty's been here the entire time, and they have a lot of happy users.
I agree. All right, time to jump to the next one here. This one's pretty amazing, or pretty epic, I guess you could say. The epicat was purchased at an auction for 33 Bitcoin, and that was just an inscribed one. So it's an interactive audio-visual message. Was inscribed onto it by Book of Blob. Right. So I'm gonna bring up it right here because I do have it written down. But what do you think about this? What do you think about the Blob, man? The Blob were the guys who purchased this damn thing.
Yeah. So I think it's a really cool inscription. Some people said that is this the one that's on the epicat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it changes a lot.
Well, there's actual audio to it too, yeah. And so it's I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Some people were kind of making fun of it and stuff, but I thought it was cool. I thought the message was cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that they paid $3.3 million. Obviously, there's some capital behind this team. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy. Maybe they purchased it with their raise. I don't know how much they raised from their launch, but the one thing I'll say about this though is that like they came out with epic, right? The Rune token.
Yeah.
And then obviously they use the epic sat as a parent to that token. I just I hope that like there's more of that, but with like maybe like uncommons and stuff. Cause like I just don't like the supply split and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but they put a lot of money into this. And this is one thing about runes too, is that teams like spent a lot of Bitcoin either getting an early rune or doing this and that. And when they pre-mine, they like are pre-mining. Part of that is for them to earn some of that money back, right? And then obviously make a profit. But that's just kind of like we're not used to it over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's tough, you know, to see that. And then these 95% like pre-mines is like the same thing as Fehu. And so
Yeah.
I just don't know what to expect, you know. I didn't buy any of these off the secondary. They're like 9 cents because like I don't want to get wrecked, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why I just kind of left it alone.
And then, you know, obviously, a minute, but the fees popped to over 400 sats per V-byte, and just to get that last 5%. What do you think people are thinking with this? Obviously, you know, a lot of other chains, they have, you know, lock tokens, unlock tokens, so you get your, you know, your fully diluted value and your non-fully diluted value. So some would say that the 5% of it is the actual fully diluted value, right? So what do you think about people really going after these small little pieces of this big supply?
I think there's FOMOing. I think that like it's going to be really hard to tell. I mean, that is the one thing that makes runes more similar to other chains tokens is that like the pre-mine is there. And so like the teams can like, you know, on other chains, they can hold a certain amount of tokens and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess in that sense, it's getting closer to that. But like, I don't know what to expect. You know, I'd rather just probably wait on the sidelines. But at the same time, I do have FOMO from it. But I didn't pull the trigger on this one. I pulled the trigger on Fehu, which is, you know, the distribution split is still, you know, very bad until we find out what they're going to do with the tokens. But it's just weird. Like I said, like the users over here our perception is very different than, you know, how traditionally tokens are done. And this is taking it back to like traditional tokens, you know? It's just kind of, we want to know what's going to happen next, you know?
100%.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about it.
Jumping to our next thing here, then kind of leads us right into Fehu. Their latest tweets have people buzzing, right? And this is it right here. And this is them yelling, I guess. I told you guys to list your Fehu, because if we all do it, then we flip Doge within 1 hour and become millionaires. But the problem is there's some of you that are not following the plan. And I think this was from someone else as well. I don't know. But they got people buzzing with this, and they did tweet out something that RuneCoin tweeted out. It was RuneCoin, and, you know, RuneCoin this and RuneCoin that, you know, Rune this, Rune that. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking this means by this? I don't know, man. These guys have been nothing but questions, right? What do you think?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It really is, because like there's no information about it. But I mean, like I do kind of expect something big, just because it is the number one token.
Yeah.
I do expect something big because they are like playing with us in a sense. They're toying with the space. It gives me those Node Monks vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what can it be? What can it be? What can it be? I don't know. I don't know. Actually, absolutely have no idea. You know what I mean? And it drives me a little nuts whenever I keep thinking about it. Like if because I'm annoyed because what are they? What do they
Yeah.
do? Who knows, man? But they're having fun. That's for sure. They're having
Yeah,
fun messing with us.
I can't wait for more information, dude. I really can't. So it's kind of annoying. But this next one, I want to shout out my boy here, SMB_VC. He put out a really good tweet today, and I just kind of wanted to read it here. He basically says, dog bottoming here will probably mean a bottom for all Rune memes. It's important Bitcoin has a decent week for Runes to show some strength. And I'm going to show his page here. And he posted this really cool chart of dog. And he basically said, if we smash below this, it's down. If we pop over this, we could potentially see back up here to where we were and kind of lead us back into this range. It's still a downward range, but it potentially could lead us past up here and getting back to all-time highs, if not past it. Obviously, dog was the leader, and now it's RuneCoin, which is the R6 Genesis rune. They are now in the lead by far, but this is the leader of all memes here on Bitcoin, right? So for now, until the puppets launch, and then we can kind of see what is the next big meme. But for now, dog is the leader in the meme category. What do you think about this chart? What do you think about dog go to the moon? Are we going to continue down, or do you think we break back up to all new, potentially all new highs?
So it looks like RuneCoin is at 288 million versus the 254 million with dog. I think he's right. Bitcoin is gonna kind of determine what happens with the space right now. I feel like there was, like I mentioned before, there was exhaustion from earlier this year, late last year, and Bitcoin needs to create some profits for people. But yeah, I mean, we don't know how long that's going to take. Like I think like crossing the 80,000 mark is a big deal. 80 to 85,000 mark. If it crosses that, then there's going to be euphoria, and then like that euphoria that Bitcoin creates, like it really does trickle down into different, like the Bitcoin ecosystem, and then other places like on crypto Twitter and stuff. But I probably don't see that happening for at least another 2 months. June, July. But I hope I'm wrong completely, because this is a unique cycle. Things have happened when they're not supposed to. But the one thing that is staying on track is the stock to flow model that Plan B is using. And until that breaks, like I feel like that at least will repeat and rhyme in some sense. And for that to rhyme, I think we got at least another 2 months of chop.
Yeah, I think you're right. I hate to say it, but I think you're right. I hope not. I hope we're at all-time highs for Bitcoin by end of the week, because that also by end of the week, but by end of the month. But the week would be better. But yeah, I think you're right. It really depends. Dog is, at the end of the day, it's just another like high leverage play on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin goes up, dog goes up a lot more. Bitcoin goes down, dog goes down a lot more. And if dog goes down, dog is the pillar of all the memes here. And so if you're holding a lot of the other ones, including our boy Mr. Yen and stuff like that, stuff like that, then you're really hoping dog kind of breaks out of this and gets back to all new highs. But
yeah,
all right. Any last words on this before we get hit our market update?
No, not really. I feel like you're right. You know, Dog is, even though it's not the top market cap, it is kind of the driver of the space. But one thing I think that people should, so yes, I guess I do have something to say. One thing I think that people should really pay attention to is once Bitcoin does kind of bring that euphoria back, watch the meme communities over here in Runes. I bet you're gonna see some crazy community energy coming from all the ones that have significant like leaders and communities. I think it's gonna be something that we've never experienced with BRC20, atomicals or ARC20s or any other fungible tokens, and I think we see it here. I think it's gonna be like this like community like, you know, their flags, they're gonna have their flags in the ground, you know, like, oh, we're the best meme community and stuff. And I think that's gonna be really exciting. So that's something to look forward to, because I do believe that we see that.
100%. Couldn't agree more. All right, it's time. This is what everyone watches the show, man. Our market updates. We're gonna get into the prices of all your bags, because we know everyone wants us to talk about your bags. So we're gonna start talking about your bags right here. So let's kind of get into it. We want to start off first. We're gonna start off with what we used to start off with, I guess, right?
Yeah, why not? We'll start off with some BRC20s, because that is kind of come back into the news here. Let me shut this off. Oh, there it is right there. Quit. Okay. Anyways, all right, let's go to the market here. So for BRC20s, in terms of volume, we have Wizard at number one, up 12%. Wizard's at $7.69. So I'm assuming that, you know, Wizard and Pups are still being bought because, you know, you can still get the airdrop, I believe. They haven't dropped the Runes tokens yet to their communities. And then you have Pups up 7.76%, sitting at right under $40, which is still a solid price. You know, it's not bad at all. And then you have PIIN, which is interesting, sitting at 3 zeros and a 2. Let's check out some of the more popular ones being talked about right now. So Track up 19%, sitting at $2.53. This thing got all the way down at $1.80. And then it dumped, I think, after the snapshot. But a lot of things are supposedly coming out for Tap Protocol. So Track is the governance token over Tap Protocol. So a lot of people are already thinking, you know, like these Track tokens are going to be locked up, you know, as validators, as the validators have to lock them up. So I think people want to get these a little bit early. Trio is one that, you know, has been talked about. It's the Ordinals bot. It was doing pretty good. It's at $2.88 right now. I think it's at a, what is it? 21 million supply here. Yeah, 21 million supply. So not bad. $2.88, about the same price as Track, a little bit higher. And let's see if we see anything else in here. Ordi, let's check Ordi, which is at $41.68. So this was at $38 for a while. So, you know, the BRC20 market is definitely like a lot less volume. You can see like their highest is like 1 Bitcoin around there, maybe multiple Bitcoin in these, but number 4 is right at 1 Bitcoin. So it's less than Runes, but I think it's some of these like hot ones as of late have been popping up, right? So let me check Ghosty too, because that was one that was been talked about a lot. Ghosty is in at 36 cents. So this was at 21 cents like last week. So now it's at 36 cents. It got all the way to 40 cents, and now it's come back down a little bit. But they keep making announcements of new tokens that they offer services for. So I think that's why people are just like, how can you not be bullish on them, right? So that is BRC20 market update. I feel like, you know, just keep your, you know, eyes on the BRC20 market, especially in May. There's supposed to be layer 1 stuff that's layer 1 foundation stuff that's released. And, you know, we'll see what happens with that.
Amen.
And then we can jump over to the Runes market cap real quick. And then after the Runes, do you want to hit the
I hit the digital artifacts. Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so the Runes, obviously the top volume right here is Doggo to the Moon at 1.2 million. You know, the market cap has shrunk down a bit. It's at 254 million. Then you have Epic. We talked about this. Is the Blob guys that launched the Epic token. The parent is the Epic Sat. It's at 9 cents, man. And I know that the supply of this thing is like huge, 1 billion. So it's gonna be interesting watching this. Arsic Rune coin right here is at 1 cent. It was at all the way almost to 2 cents at one point, but it's at 1.5 cent almost now. Market cap is 288 million, so it's the highest market cap currently of everything. They have decentralized, which is down to 44 million. Man, this could be eventually like a good buy.
Yeah.
I'm still eyeing it right now.
I bought 1 million today. I bought 1 million more. I got
you?
4 million now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Waddle comes in at number 5, sitting at 10 million. So I think Farmer Joe, his crew came up with this. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. I think it's people are gonna dump on you with this one, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just saying. Then you have Dope Ticker here coming in at number 6, $1.3 million market cap. Then you have Fehu coming in after that. The market cap is misleading on this. It's at $26.
Well, no, it's what it is. Fully diluted.
Yeah, 2.9 billion, but that's not. I mean, when you have what 95%, I think it's more than 95%. 99% of supply just locked up. I mean, that to me, I don't know. Like, I actually probably would want to look at it like this, because then you don't see the opportunity there and try to, degen. But like
I said before, if they don't burn or airdrop or even airdrop would be bad. If they don't burn those tokens, this is not like good.
Yeah.
I don't care what they do as a team.
Yeah. Satoshi Nakamoto number 6 with a $40 million market cap at $1.86. This got back up to like $2.40. So I don't know. I'm bullish on Satoshi Nakamoto, because I feel like it's not like it's ranging between like $1.80 and like $2.50, and it keeps going back and forth. I think it's going to do well. Wanko Manko Runes, number 9 at 20 cents, 75 million supply there. Market cap's at 15 million. I'm bullish on this one because Casey and his crew are kind of behind it. Rare Pup Cash. This one was interesting. I think it's newer. It's at 2.1 million, but I think it's like a secondary pup token. So probably wouldn't throw too much at that, just because once the pup token comes out, it's probably going to overtake it. Bitcoin Pepe Matrix was a big one that actually towards the end of last week killed it. It was at 7 million. Now it's at $3.7 million market cap, but it has a lot of holders, 14,794. So I think this one does good because of the holder count down the line. But that's pretty much it right now in terms of the Runes token market cap. It's kind of chilling, like we talked about earlier. Bitcoin does something crazy, I think like the whole market will move, but it starts with the dog token, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Jumping over to your digital artifacts, and I'm on the 7-day here, guys. We finally have the pre-runes kind of falling a little bit here, and we actually have actual PFP projects back in the number 1, number 2 spot here. We got the Bitcoin puppets sitting at 0.27, 84 Bitcoin in volume. Very bullish on the puppets. And we got the No Monkey sitting in that second spot, sitting at 0.343 with 80 Bitcoin in volume, followed by a pre-rune sitting at 68.29, which is Runestone. And then Blob had an epic play on words here, but epic run up here up to 0.074 with 66 Bitcoin in volume. Then Rune Pups, which is kind of one of the few pre-runes to not do the airdrop yet, sitting at 0.089 and 62 Bitcoin in volume, followed by the Ordinal Maxi Biz, finally back in the top 10 here, sitting at 0.439, 38 Bitcoin in volume. Prometheans, this is the guys who did the decentralized, the number 2 rune, sitting at 0.012, 37.93 Bitcoin in volume, followed by Arsic. Arsic is still mining, sitting at 0.046. They're mining the second season 2 coin of runes, but that is at 37.06 Bitcoin in volume. Bliffstone, this is the who did they say this was? It was one of those big guys.
It was
Animoca.
Animoca Brands.
Animoca Brands, sitting at 0.012. I don't know if they did their airdrop yet of their token. I'm not sure. I gotta look into that. But Quantum Cat sitting at 0.398 with the gold miners coming back down a little bit, sitting at 0.023. Huge fans of this. We were talking about these guys during the week. And then Based Angels, this was looked like a pump and dump pretty bad. This got pumped all the way up and now on its way back down. Not really touching that. Another one of the shills of Twitter. Right, I've been seeing a lot of shilling, and now it's kind of dumping out again. But yeah, man, what do you think about the artifacts? Are the PFP projects back?
I hope so, man, because I'm tired of the pre-rune stuff,
Me
honestly.
too. Me too.
But yeah, I think that some people are selling some of these artifacts off from the Merlin seal, and so we might see some of the price fluctuation. But eventually, what will happen is I think they'll be settled down, and I think like the top will be the collections where they belong. That's just my opinion. I don't know how much longer we have of these pre-runes, but it seems like it's fading out now, and I hope that like there's not another run of those.
Yeah, me either. No, I agree. I kind of want to jump over to some of these Tap tokens. I think Tap is the next big ecosystem because of the CoinList listing. The CoinList will be launching the Tap token, and I think a lot of that volume of Tap is going to be kind of taken down into more leveraged plays, right? So I want to take a look at really kind of what's going on over here. I think we really got to start looking, guys. I really do, and this is not. I gotta say it again. It's not a paid show at all. This is just what I think is next. And me and Yagobi, we've been really good at looking at what's next, right? We were right about a lot of things, and going all the way back to bitmaps and all the way back to the original time
Track,
we
yeah.
talked about track at 11 cents, right? But I think it's time to really start looking at this stuff because some of the stuff is really gonna move. Things like Gib, things like minus tap, things like potentially even that. I know this has a ongoing supply that's pouring in every day, so that one's really a tough one for me to get bullish on. But Carmen and Sora, I mean, these guys are big time. They got big bags behind them, right? So, and obviously, this isn't their token, but it's like a community token of theirs. That's what they say, I guess. But I mean, I'm just curious, man. Traverse. I mean, Traverse is all about safety, right? So, I mean, this could be something that really takes off as well. But what do you think about this ecosystem and about what do you think the actual Tap token and all the liquidity that it can bring to this ecosystem?
I mean, so the teams and developers and stuff in the tap ecosystem have been using a lot of words in terms of like what their excitement and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that kind of follows through with like the tech side of stuff. That's what I'm most excited about. I don't know. You got like block runners and some people that are, just excited as well. And then you got like Traverse Labs. We've had meetings with them. Other teams that are saying, hey, people aren't ready for what's about to happen. I'm ready. I want to see it. Right. So we'll see how long it takes to start rolling these things out. But if there is like infrastructure that works well here, then I think all of these tokens benefit from it. Right. And that you will see that pretty quickly if the infrastructure is built out and the UX is good.
Couldn't agree more, man. And guys, I think that's our show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did have some more topics to get into, but tune in during the week. We'll actually save a few for tomorrow and ongoing shows. We're live all week, guys, Monday to Friday from it's 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific. So check us out, guys, all week. We are live. And throw your questions in the chat over there on the live videos because that is where we kind of really spend time with you guys. Definitely too, if you guys think about joining the member group, we're going to start doing members only lives. I know I said I was going to do one over the weekend. I apologize. I kind of left the city a little bit. It wasn't by my computer, but I promise we're going to have member videos throughout the week. We'll potentially do a members live during the week as well. If not, definitely next weekend. If not, but we'll definitely have a lot of members video, guys. Appreciate all of our members. Think about joining the membership. It's $9.99. It's not much, but you get a lot more Shizzy and Yagobi if you're interested in that. Also, you guys check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have it down here, sitting at the bottom here for you guys. But definitely start checking us out there. We have some of the best articles, guys, the best articles in the space. So I definitely want you guys to start looking over here. So we got a new one right now, MicroStrategy Orange. So definitely check out all of our videos here, or all of our
Articles.
Why am I messing up? Articles here, so definitely check it out. And if you guys are interested, going to Nashville, me and Yago will be in Nashville, so come down there and meet us. But if you are going, definitely take this 21% offer, guys. Hit that button, man. Check that out. Meet us in Nashville. It should be a great time. And also, if you are going to Nashville, make sure you have your gear, man. We have some of the best gear. We're gonna be adding some stuff now. I got my boy Los. He's gonna be sending me some stuff over here. We're gonna be adding a bunch of stuff to here, so definitely check that out within the next couple of days, if not weeks. And it should be some really good stuff. And I want to let you guys know too. We're gonna start talking to people about becoming partners. We're going to start partnering with people, advising more projects. So I want to give you guys a heads up. We do have this space underneath us. We're going to be showing who we are partnered with, because we really get tired of people thinking that we're paid shilling stuff. If we're getting paid by anybody, we're going to have it on the screen. We're going to have it below down here for the updates, so you guys can know who we're actually talking to. And when I say getting paid by them, it's really just us helping them, less than them helping us. So it's definitely in the future, you guys will see some stuff at the bottom there. Just got to want to give you a heads up that it is who we are advising and helping out. Not really a sponsor, but really they're using our connections and stuff like that to kind of become more successful in what they're doing themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely check that out. But you want to speak on that?
Yeah, just a reciprocal relationship. You know what I mean? It's back and forth with us, partnering with brands in the space that feel good, that feel like it's a good fit, and that makes sense. And so, it's not, it's something that you guys will see in the future, and we will definitely always disclose it. And we'll also put it on our website too, just so there's disclosures there so you guys can see. But yeah, everything we've said and Shizzy said in the past in terms of not getting a cent for certain things, that's true. But we do want to be transparent for stuff that we are receiving anything for in terms of in exchange for advisory roles. And it's just part of the business. And we want to make sure we have clean partnerships, and that's it.
Yeah. And we want to grow Ordinal Revolution, not from just a channel, but into a network, right? In order to do that, we need to take on some outside stuff for Shizzy and Yagobi, not necessarily Ordinal Revolution, right? So that is why we're taking on more partnerships. And if you're interested in becoming a partner of ours or needing us for an advisory role into your project, please reach out to us. You guys can email us at ordinalrevolution@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on our personal personal Twitters, DMs, and stuff like that. But all that is in the show notes below, and even the email and stuff like that. So guys, appreciate that so much, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.